If he were to be released, he has stated that he wouldn't change anything but his tactics. Uh-huh. So the Wyatts, Joey and Holly's friends, were also held accountable in all of this for their part in giving Joey the first gun. Because he was a convicted felon, he should not have a gun.
No.
As well as aiding and abetting the fugitives when they came back down from Everett, Washington, and helping them hide out for a few days.
Yeah.
They were both sentenced to some jail time after Joey and Holly pled guilty. But like I said, he made that deal, so their jail time was lessened. And that is the killing spree of Holly Grigsby and Joey Pedersen. Yeah. So, I mean, of course, I had a lot of thoughts about this. Anything come to you? Anything?
Nice? No.
Yeah. No, nothing nice.
Or no, not even a silver lining in all of this. Because they feel no fucking remorse. They don't feel anything. They wouldn't change anything. Mm-mm. And they still think they're right. It's,
Right.
Okay.
I mean, I guess the silver lining is that they have no possibility of parole.
We'll see.
I mean, that can change at any time, but I have to cling to something.
No, it's just, they got life. I don't see how they didn't get a death sentence. Maybe because it was Oregon.
Yeah, probably because they both were in Oregon. I have a feeling that Holly might have been eligible for that if she had stayed in Washington and been tried that way. And they probably would have. They don't play so much up here with that,
So, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how they got off just with life, especially Joey in Washington for killing 2 people. I don't know. I
don't know. Because it obviously was premeditated, and it wasn't. You thought about doing it. You were going to go do it, and you did it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of my thoughts, looking at him specifically, because he's been very vocal about his life and circumstances. Mm-hmm. He likes to talk to the media, and I found this article called Dark Journey in the Portland Monthly, portlandmonthly.com. So PDXmonthly.com, that talked about, the juvenile penitentiary system and the laws that were passed that kind of created these circumstances where, depending upon the crime, you were, a juvenile would be stationed in the same prison with adults. Mm-hmm. And, I mean, I guess I have a hard time with that. I didn't really think that I would, because if you do a crime, you should be punished according to the crime.
Yeah.
However, I do also think that most people until the age of 25, a lot of people don't have the sense that God gave them.
Yeah.
And they do stupid things.
Yeah.
So I don't know that treating them, especially under the age of 18, I don't know that treating a minor as an adult is always the best case.
No, because there's always this notion that 18 you're an adult, but your brain doesn't really fully form until you're 25. I mean, there's been plenty of studies that show that. But, it's we consider them an adult, and they, do adult actions. But a lot of them, aren't that mature. So
right.
It's just unfortunate that they chose the age of 18 to do it. But he was 16 when he did some, his earlier crimes. I mean, it's always a tough one for me because, you're 16 and then you throw these juveniles in with the adults. And I mean, that adult system is no joke. So
no. And the thing is, he might not have formed these relationships that he formed with these certain people if he had not been put in that in that situation.
Yeah, but right and wrong.
Yes, absolutely.
And if you don't want to change, and there's just something wrong with you. I mean, it's you always. And my belief is that there's no bad people, just people that make bad decisions.
Right. Yeah.
You make bad decisions. I mean, but there's a whole nother podcast about that. You know, how our prison system doesn't really reform anybody.
No, and that was kind of my thing is, you know, is there a case to be made for the way that prisoners are treated? And does it actually correct their criminal behavior, or does it amplify it? Does it, in some cases, does it make it more? I don't know. If you are in solitary confinement and you get 30 minutes 5 times a week outside of your cell, what does that do to you as a human being? It puts you in a very your mindset is not clear.
Well, no, because
you're
just check
spending
out
too much time in your own head. And what train of thought are you going to have that's rational?
Yeah. But there's no correction there either. But just like now, as this quarantine, and we're all at home. Of course, we're all going stir crazy. We all want to get out and just do things. We have that freedom to go do things. We have that freedom to correct our situation. Like, we can just get up, go somewhere, go for a walk, or walk around the house. With, they're in solitary and they're left to their own devices. No corrections, nothing being done.
Right.
At least that's as far as I perceive. I could be wrong.
Well, no, because you're in the cell. You are isolated.
Yeah, but I don't know if they get help like once a day, like a doctor comes in. I doubt it.
I can't imagine that a doctor would be allowed in a cell with a violent prisoner.
No. You could talk with the door open or with that little port open. I don't know.
Maybe.
Either way.
I don't know.
Anybody knows the answer, let us know.
Yeah. I'm curious to know what kind of reform that is. My thing, too, is that, yes, armed robbery is a serious, it's very serious.
Oh, yeah.
It shows intent to hurt somebody.
Yeah.
But when he got arrested at that McDonald's, his gun was not loaded. So...
Well, I mean, because he's 16, right?
Right.
He can't buy ammunition.
No, but he got a gun. If you can get a gun, you can get ammo. You did it somehow.
No.
So he could have. I mean, for all intents and purposes, if you can get one, you can get the other.
Maybe.
I mean, you shouldn't have a gun at 16 either.
No.
But, so he didn't get that through legal means?
No.
I don't know. At least one bullet. I mean, somebody who gave you the gun is probably not going to think twice about giving you ammo. It just, to me, that kind of shows that while he knew that to be taken seriously, that he was going to have a weapon, he didn't necessarily want to hurt anybody.
No.
He wanted to be threatening, but he did not want to kill somebody necessarily. Mm-hmm. So what changed from that thought process to where we end up where he kills his dad and stepmom?
Prison.
Right. Yeah. Just... there's a whole lot of questions that could be, I'm sure there's a podcast out there that goes over these exact things. Maybe we need to find it. The other thing that I was kind of thinking about is, we consider members of certain religions who act out in violence to further their causes. Mm-hmm. We call them terrorists.
Yeah, or extremists. Yeah.
Well, case in point is 9/11. Those are terrorists. Mm-hmm. Why aren't white supremacists considered terrorists? Why is that not... why in America do we allow that to be considered freedom of speech? It's racially motivated hate crime. Why do you get to have the freedom of speech when somebody from a different country comes in and this was their freedom of speech? They're terrorists. Mm-hmm. And they're going to be prosecuted... like terrorists.
Yeah. I mean, I could get into it, but I would sound like a crazy guy,
No, I mean, but it's an interesting question. And it's one of those things where this is why it's so frustrating for people who see that this is wrong, mm-hmm. want it to stop, can't abide by the belief system of people who are white supremacists, you get nowhere with trying to deal with it.
No.
Because it's so, I mean, yeah, you sound like a crazy person. It's conspiracy theory shit.
Yeah.
Interwoven facts in our culture that are, it's almost too hard to think about it sometimes, about how this can continue.
No. Well, so the thing about it is, honey, is that this country's been more racist than it has been non-racist. You know what I mean? We've only had civil rights for everybody since the 60s.
Right.
But, this country's 200 years old. It's a little bit ingrained. I know we haven't owned slaves or, nobody's owned slaves in our generation, but it's hard to weed the racists and the white supremacists out. It's, it goes along with the question, why isn't the white supremacist or the KKK considered a terrorist organization?
Right.
It's a discussion there. I don't want to sound like the crazy conspiracy theory guy, but this country was founded that way and on violence, and it's yeah.
Yeah. It's just sad. It's very sad.
It is.
I think it makes me more thankful for the opportunities that we have, that we can have those discussions, like things that we discuss with our daughters. Me, myself, as a white woman, I don't feel, anybody judging me based on the color of my skin. I've never been subjected to that, ever. And I never will know what that feels like. But I've had to try to empathize of what my daughters might feel because, they are Filipino as well as, my white pale skin. So having to have those discussions with them has been very difficult because they're brown, they don't look like just white women. Yeah. And it's just unreal that I should have to do that in this day and age. It just makes me sad to have to think of that as affecting somebody that I care for. So, yeah, people like this, lock them up and don't let them out. Yeah. It is unreal that people get away with that and are not considered terrorists to me.
Yeah, well.
Yeah.
One day.
Like I said, heated. I definitely was. I went on little mini tangents quite a few times and had to hit the delete button as I was typing some stuff out. So I was like, okay, this is just, I could go on for hours about this. It's maddening. There we go. That's what we had this week. So, yeah, I mean, if I say anything, just a little reminder to everybody, be kind.
Yes.
Even if you don't know somebody's situation and you don't know their background, what they, what their upbringing was, if they look even the slightest bit different to you, it doesn't matter. They're a person. Be kind.
Yeah.
We're all on this earth. God would not have separated us that way. That's just what I keep coming back to. God did not matter what color your skin was, what you did, who you were, what you said. He loved everybody. Why can we not do the same?
Yeah.
Yeah. So just be kind. I said so. So do it.
Yeah. You're married to me. I have to do it, but not everybody else. Not everybody else has to do what you say, honey.
Yeah, that's bullshit. Okay. So just do it. No excuses. Just be kind.
Well, thank you, everybody, for listening. And again, hit us up on all the social medias. We have them all, even our website, whathappensinthewoods.com. If you have any ideas, thoughts, let us know.
Yeah, we're here. I got all this free time. Hit me up.